We've all heard voice talents in ads, establishments, and sometimes cartoons. A few of you may have even wondered if perhaps you might do the same. Wonder no more, because joining us now is Pocholo Gonzalez, an established voice talent who found success in freelancing. Hi Pocholo, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hello.
Hey, did you always have this inborn talent of being able to use your voice?
Yeah, I think so, because when I grew up, we don't have a TV. The only means of entertainment that I have is the radio. So I always listen to this radio drama called Gabi ng Lagim. And then I imitate the voices that I'm hearing, like, Isang gabi ng lagim, awu! Awu! Si Utoy at si Lolo Tasyo ay naligaw sa kagubatan.
Lolo, ang dilim na.
Ay, nako, apoy, sabi ko sa'yo, umuwi na tayo. So, until a monster came out, kumanta kayo, kakainin ko kayo. So, when I was young, I'm so afraid hearing this radio drama until these voices, you know, I always imitate these voices. And then one day, I was surprised I'm doing voices already.
So what happened to your career after you won the voice acting contest?
I joined a lot of like radio drama, radio programs, dubbing. I dub a lot of artista and also cartoons here in ABS-CBN.
Okay, and fast forward to at least 2 decades later, and now you have your own company, you have several advocacies, and of course you still do the voiceover talent requirements. So tell me, like, how you manage to do all of these things at once.
As you know, I'm also a motivational speaker, I'm a youth advocate. When I was starting, I also created the Voice of the Youth Network. I founded it to help young people, number one, to inspire, inform, involve, and empower them through radio broadcasting. So I produce radio shows for them. I believe in Filipino talents. I believe that Filipinos can make it in the world. So I founded Creative Voices Productions. My main goal is to make the Philippines the center of voiceover excellence in Asia. So what happened, I also established the very first and only voice acting school in the country. So most of my graduates now are also dubbers here in ABS and also doing a lot of radio ad, commercials, and also some of them are broadcasters already, like DJs and reporters. The good thing is, for the past 50 years in the industry, there's only few people who can come in. The door is not open. So when I established the school, a lot of doors opened for them, and also a lot of opportunities. Like, as you know, Philippines is the dubbing, like the center of dubbing almost in the world. They dub a lot of English, Korean novella, for example. They translate it from Korean to English and then they sell it abroad. Something like that.
So now there's all these opportunities, but on top of that, there's also an easier way for freelancers to get hired, and that of course is using the internet and social media.
Yes,
How
yes.
have you been able to utilize those tools to maximize what you can
The
do?
good thing about our generation now is, you know, with the advent of technology, especially like Google and the websites. 15 years ago, I established my very first website. So when they're looking for Filipino voice talent, they always see my name. So if you write Voice Talent Philippines, the first 5 websites will be my website.
That's great.
Yeah, so I had a chance to get almost 90% of voiceover inquiries. And then most of my students, I recorded their voices and then I put their voices on my website. So at least I'm not the only one who can do the voices. So I can also sell or market their voices.
So these days, how do you go about finding your projects? Is it still through your website?
Yeah, still a lot of inquiries. Almost every day I get about 5 inquiries. But now I focus more on training. I'm traveling around the Philippines. I've been to 50 provinces, doing a lot of motivational talks, especially for young people. And also, one of my advocacy is to teach teachers how to take good care of their voices. So that's why I come up with this book. This is a book called Voice Care for Teachers. So I teach them how to gamify their teaching, how to use their voices in effective teaching. And also, they're dealing with this so-called the Gen Z, or the 6 seconds generation. So these kids has 4 to 6 seconds attention span. So I also teach them how to use voice acting.
Right. As a freelancer, how easy or how difficult is it to book gigs?
Number one, you have a lot of competition. So maybe before it's not hard because I'm the only option. Now they have like hundreds of options. And the problem is the issue of dignity and the money. So sometimes a lot of people goes to the money. So they're like, for voiceover, my minimum before is $100. Now they can get about $5 for one voiceover work. Just imagine that. But of course, the client knows where to get the right voices. So you get what you pay for. So sometimes, even they paid $5, they still go to me, and I still do the voiceover that has already done.
Right, because they understand the kind of quality that they would be getting from you.
It's not actually me that doing the voices, it's my talents through my websites.
You said the market is so big. How do you make yourself stand out so that you will be able to book those projects?
Number one, you have to market yourself. You should have at least a personal brand. So that's the reason why I branded myself as a voice master, because I'm a voice teacher. So I teach about 2,000 voice talents already. I mean, for the past 10 years, the Philippine Center for Voice Acting has taught about almost 2,000 voice artists, and about 300 are already active in voiceover industry, broadcasting, dubbing. So, and SEO is very important, search engine optimization. So a lot of people are trying their best.
Do you still have the advantage that you had early on during
Yes,
the early
because
internet days?
the foundation of my SEO is very, very tough, and a lot of people who are trying to to be number one in search engine, they're having a hard time because the foundation is very strong.
Okay. Tell me about the different opportunities that are available to voice talents. You already mentioned, obviously, like advertisements and cartoons and dubbed over telenovelas. What else is there?
There's a lot of translations happening. So, for example, from Malaysia to Filipino, if you're a Filipino who knows Malaysian, you can translate it and also do the voices for Malaysian market. If a market wants to market, the Malaysian wants to market their product here, you can do the voiceover for them if they have an AVP. Second, you can do a lot of audiobooks. No? Audiobooks are now very widely used in, especially for authors. I have done a lot of audiobooks. Like, I'm also the voice of the Bible. I did
the Bible. Okay.
The New Testament, and also I did computer games. One of my biggest market is Sega. Can you imagine the Filipinos are the one who did Transformers? If you go to like time zone, you can see.
Oh, on the games.
Yeah, the game. It is the voices of Filipino, 100%.
Okay,
but they sound so American.
Right, and this is like the Transformers video games. They're all over the world.
Yes.
Not just within
and
the
it's
region.
being voiced by Filipinos.
Wow, that's great.
And the good thing about Filipinos, we are also good in English. So most of the time, they can imitate the Americans. And they say, our price is affordable, not cheap.
Not cheap, but
it's affordable.
But affordable. You've been doing this for so long. How have you been able to keep up with the changes and the requirements of your clients?
So basically, what's happening now, since there's a lot of websites for voiceover artists, number one is voices.com, voices123, but now we have a local one called rocket.ph. So I'm focusing now on our local market, because Filipino voices are being used everywhere in the world. Like, I have clients in more than 20 countries around the world asking for my voice in Filipino.
So you're talking about like markets in the Middle East and Europe where there's lots of Pinoys?
Yes, ma'am. For example, there's a radio station in Dubai called Tag 91.1, and it's a Filipino radio station. Tag means Tagalog. So all of their commercials are being voiced here in the Philippines.
Who are the types of people who end up in creative voices in your school?
Basically, if you have an interest in doing voices, and if you think you have a very good voice that you can use it in doing voiceovers or dubbing, and you can imitate voices, you need to go to our school, because for me, you have to professionalize your craft. You have to understand the tools and techniques, how to do voiceover, or else it's just like being a quack doctor. A doctor should go to a medicine school. So for me, I'm the only one who professionalized the craft of voice acting in the Philippines because we are the only voice acting school. In 2012, I was invited in the US to be the only Filipino and Asian to be a panelist, international panelist for the Voice over International Creative Experience.
Can anyone become a voice talent?
Anyone that has a voice, you know. The good thing about voice acting, it doesn't require any like good looks or anything. As long as the character fits you, then it's yours. It doesn't mean you have a very good voice. All you need is a decent speaking voice, and I can teach you how to use it in voice acting.
How to modulate it
Yeah.
and change it and imitate other
Yeah,
voices.
especially for example, if I do character voices in SpongeBob and Patrick, you want to hear?
Sure, why not?
Okay, I'll do SpongeBob voice. You count 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, come on, Patrick. My name's SpongeBob. Hey, nah.
Hey, how are you, SpongeBob? My name is Patrick. Hey, shut up, SpongeBob. I'm Squidward. Hey, I'm Mr. Krabs. Meow. Something like
Okay,
that.
that's freaky. That's,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
freaky. That's incredible, though.
And I can do hundreds of voices.
That's amazing. That said, what are the challenges in becoming a voice acting or voiceover
Yeah,
talent?
challenges. If you lose your voice, you will lose your career.
What advice could you give for our viewers who are thinking of going into voice acting as a freelancer, whether full-time or part-time?
Well, number one rule is to study the craft and learn from the expert. Because you cannot do it alone. Even you have a very good voice, if you don't know how to market yourself, how to use your voice or how to record. Because recording is very important. Even you have a very good voice and you don't have a very good recording studio or microphone, it's useless. So all you have to do is to study, especially in my school, because we teach them how to market themselves. That's the reason why most of my graduates landed very good voiceover jobs in different parts of the world. So I share the blessing to them
Well, they
because
are-
I'm teaching them how to market themselves.
All right, and now you're sharing that knowledge with everyone here.
Yes, ma'am.
It's definitely good to know. Pocholo, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thank
shop
you very
talking
much,
with
Ray.
us.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Now, you've heard Pocholo Gonzalez's story. Your next question is, how do I get started? Our next guest should be able to help, so stay tuned.